Hey,
Hey, took you forever. I'm like sitting here like,
I'm
did you come?
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's
I
okay. I was just concerned, like a little bit, but
I
not really.
appreciate.
But I was.
Thank you. Now I was doing like a lip mask, and you do a turmeric, honey, and yogurt on your
Mm-hmm.
lips because it's like it's the melanin discoloration makes me look like I have smoker's lips.
Oh, okay.
So I do that to kind of lighten the melanin up. Now, I used to get that when I was a kid. Like, my brothers would be like, Natalie, you smoke? I was like, I don't smoke. I was like, it's just my lips. You see my gums, my black ass gums? With my black ass gums, sometimes I get black ass lips. I'm sorry. That's just melanin.
What?
Sometimes my lips turn black.
My black ass lips. Yes,
Okay.
we. Okay. I love it.
Exactly.
Well, I love it.
Oh,
I
my
use. I only
goodness.
do. I only do turmeric lip scrubs. But now that I know, oh wait, I have this like Mancuca honey. I
Manuka.
think it's called. There you
Manuka.
go, Manuka. Thank you.
The
And I
superpower
put
honey,
that
girl.
like
I love, love,
face.
love Manuka.
Yeah, it's good stuff so far. I'm really excited about it.
Mm.
Alexa, stop. Okay, so hey,
Ooh, turn it down. All right. If you see little air coming by, that's my little diffuser here. Add some lavender
oh,
and rosemary. So that's what you'll see coming by here.
I don't even see it.
You
I
don't
don't
see
see
it?
any.
Maybe the light's filtering it out now. Hey, LexFit, how are you? We are about to get started. We can't ever be on time. We will one day. We're going to get it together.
I don't think we're supposed to ever be on time. I think we just do it when we're ready, right? Like we can have a general time of when we want to start, but you know.
Oh, kids,
Exactly.
kids, kids, kids,
And
kids,
that's the whole part
kids.
of it of doing, spirited mom talk is because now we can
Mm-hmm.
really be open and honest about being a mom. Being a mom.
Because look,
I'm laughing because I'm like, when, like, what the hell? Like, when did I become a mom? I used to be
right?
cool, like I used to be skinny and hot and just like living my life, And now I'm
Uh-huh.
like, oh, it's bedtime.
Used to stay up late. You used to dream
Yeah,
about the stuff
eat
you'd be able to do in your 30s.
right. Eat ice cream for dinner or have a candy bar
Exactly.
for dinner. When is the last time you've done that? I can't even remember. Oh my gosh.
I'm
Now
gonna,
it's
I'm
like,
gonna do
oh,
that this
do they have
weekend.
a
This
balanced
weekend,
diet?
you know what? This weekend I'm gonna do that. I'm going to eat the foods that I want to eat this
Right.
weekend. I'm not gonna be like go crazy, but this weekend I'm eat what I want to eat. You know what? Self care, self love. You know what? I think that's something I'm gonna put out because I know we couldn't have been the only people feeling that shift yesterday, and I'm still just like, oh, I need a nap. I still need a nap
Right.
from these past few days. So
I
self
was
care
getting
weekend.
sleepy. I was getting sleepy like right before, like right at 7:30. I was like, what is going on? I'm so tired. I was like, I'm about to
Yes.
cancel, but I'm glad I did it. I was like, nah, I'm not.
And then Kai is super tired right now because he didn't take a nap.
Uh-huh.
So Joe took him for a walk around, it's a little forest path,
Yeah.
but it's just, oh my gosh. But yeah, so make it a self-care weekend if you can. Order a guilt food and eat it and watch a comfort
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Just secure. What's a comfort show for you? What's a good comfort show?
My comfort
It's
show.
okay. No judgment. No judgment. Hey.
My comfort show is Total Drama Island on Netflix.
I know what
That
you're
is
talking
my
about.
comfort show. It's
Mm-hmm.
so, it's like corny. It's so corny. You pay attention to some of the things that they
It did.
say.
It did follow a lot of stereotypes. I do remember that.
Yeah,
It did.
it was like, but still at the same time, it was very on point, and it
Mm-hmm.
was still just, but it's such a simple watch, you know,
Right.
that you just kind of like drift away, and I actively watch the show, but I still
Mm-hmm.
just am like, daydreaming over here about something else. So,
Yeah.
but that's my what is it, comfort show.
Yeah. I
What
have a.
about you?
I have a few. I have a few. But if I could only choose one, it'd be a movie, and it'd be Pride and Prejudice, the one with Keira Knightley.
I've
Uh,
never seen that movie. I've never read
I,
that book either.
girl, I am a huge, huge Jane Austen fan. I love 1700s literature. Jane Austen, Charles Dickinson. Um, I even like Edgar Allan Poe. His creepy goth behind. I remember all those stories, his poems. But I'm a huge literature buff, and Jane Austen, she is a hopeless romantic. Like her whole story, her life was sad. Like every time she got engaged, her fiance died. It's like she
Like
gave up after the third.
that's a true story?
That's a true story. Yeah, I did her autobiography twice.
That's so
Yes.
sad.
Isn't it? And her stories are always so romantically balanced and everything else. And it, like, the thing I love most about Pride and Prejudice is just like it didn't only show the faults of Mr. Darcy, it showed her faults too, because she also had her prejudices against him because he was rich, you know. And she had her pride about it. She was too prideful to admit she liked the guy because he had money. It like the whole thing, like the whole entire movie came down to two people, them admitting, you know what, we both were just foolish.
If
So
I were to watch it, am I gonna cry at the end?
no, I wouldn't cry. I think, it's just that cheesy smile you get when you see two people finally kiss. It's just like,
Oh, my son would be
yeah,
like, "Gross! That's so
yeah,
cringy."
exactly. And it's the like when you see the way it ends, you'll be like, oh, it's so
Oh,
sweet how they end with a kiss. It's so sweet.
can I
But
watch
yeah,
it on Netflix or Hulu or Amazon?
uh, what is it? What is it? It's where the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Peacock.
Okay, it's free though, right? They have free ones, right, on Peacock?
Peacock. I think they do have free ones with ads,
Okay,
but I
cool.
know it's on Amazon Prime. You may be able to buy with Amazon Prime or rent with Amazon Prime, but I can't think of anybody that I know that has it for free right now. But
Mm.
try Prime first. Try Prime first. They may have it for free. At one point they did, but
You
they
would think it
lose and
would be like
gain.
on one of those like Lifetime channels. I could probably find it on Lifetime. I have that. Or
Maybe.
even
I know that, any Pride and Prejudice movie, they're all the same. Bridget Jones' Diary. It's just another version of Pride and Prejudice.
oh, I'm gonna cry then. I cried on Bridget Jones. I cried at the end because it was always like, oh, oh.
If you watch Bridget Jones' Diary, you just watch Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, so then I don't have to watch it.
No, if you watch the first Bridget Jones' Diary, then you've watched Pride and Prejudice. I'm sorry, I could go on and on about
Okay.
about
So
that
then
about
now
that
I
kind of
have to
literature,
watch
but
it
yeah,
though because Bridget Jones was good. That was a
it
really good movie.
was.
I don't care what anyone says, judge your mama. But that was a really good movie. So now I'm gonna have to watch Pride and Prejudice because I'll be like, oh, so if it's based off of this, then it's probably better.
And it'll help you understand the language and the tone a little bit better, because the thing about the movie is it still uses the old English language. So, instead of saying, your parents embarrassed me, your parents were indecent and, they showed no restraint when it came to their self control. Your mother is advantageous. She's advantageous, meaning she's pretty much seeking out men to, boost her daughters and things like that. So, yeah, they use language like that. And my husband, he couldn't stand hearing that. He was just like, why are they talking like that? It's old English. Like, listen, man.
It's just how they spoke back then. It's okay.
Exactly. That's how they spoke. Yeah. And then the cutest thing about it is the way that they barely even touched. And I know that back then it was indecent for men and women to ever touch each other if they weren't together. So they would dance to get a chance to touch each other's hands and beat each other's space and things like that. It
I
was
love it.
indecent.
That
Baby,
was
if a
super.
rumor got
That's like super corny, but I love it.
believe it or not, a lot of cultures were like that. If a woman was ill spoken of, her and her entire family could lose out on getting married because their name will be ruined. So yeah,
Mm,
that's how it used to be. It's how it used to be.
that's horrible. That just sounds like another way to control women and their bodies to me.
Oh,
But
it was. It absolutely
you know,
was. It
yeah,
absolutely was. The women would have to be kept pure and everything else, and they couldn't be seen as indecent. And if a sister was fallen, aka she did something she shouldn't, her entire family could be considered ruined, and none of them would ever get married or be able to get married
they'd have to like move to like another country.
if you could afford it. Most families were poor.
Oh, they still
Mm,
are. Shit.
yeah. The wheel goes on and on, but the good thing is now the age of Aquarius, everybody has incarnated enough to see the cycle. And I
Yeah.
think that's why everybody's just like, man, F this. We've seen all this too many times. We don't care no more. We're numb
Kind of
right
like
now.
a movie on repeat. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it feels like.
Exactly.
Mm-mm-mm.
So comfort food.
Okay. Right now, it's Honey Nut Cheerios. Really, it's
Mhm.
the milk, but it's Honey Nut Cheerios.
Why don't
And
you
I don't
just buy
even
this?
and I don't
Go
even
ahead.
like milk, to be honest with you. But it's something about the milk right now, and I'm like, I'm really into it. Like really, really into it, and it's kind of grossing me out.
Yo, I guess you seen this they actually sell the cereal milk like it's flavored milk, and I know they have honey nut Cheerios. I've seen cinnamon toast crunch. I've seen cocoa pebbles or fruity pebbles or something like that, but they have
Mm-hmm.
flavored cereal milk, and they even have the stuff you can just sprinkle like the cinnamon toast crunch. You can sprinkle the seasoning on your ice cream and things like that. I am not kidding.
I need
They have.
that. I need that.
You want
I
me?
need
I
that.
can show it to you. I'll show it. Like
Yeah,
I'm
think
not
of
ashamed.
yeah. Send it to
I'll
me.
show it to you.
But it's okay. It's the milk that I'm really
Hmm.
into, but then it's also the chewing. Like I don't know if you know this, but I always have like I'm always chewing something. There's always something in my mouth. Like and even when I was little, I sucked my thumb, right? I used to like chew on shit stuff. I'm working on my cussing.
It's
I
okay.
would try to I would chew on stuff like it would just be like weird. And so now
Hmm.
I'm like, well, let me chew gum. Let me drink water. Let me
Right.
do something. But yeah, I probably have
No,
some type of complex. What is the complex that
like
was it
sensory complex.
Carl Jung? And he had
Huh?
something.
Oh,
They said that they were like a part if you had difficulties during certain stages of your childhood development,
development. Uh huh.
then it would stay with you through your life. So
Hmm.
mine would have to do with the mouth, but I don't remember what that word was, right? Or what the phrase was that meant it.
I know it's
So,
like some type of stimulation because with textures, I know on the spectrum of autism, I know just because my kids, there's the sensory processing disorder, and there's a constant need of some type of sensory to keep them calm, and
mhm.
chewing ice, sunflower seeds. I was,
That
you know
too.
what?
I do ice and
You,
sunflower
you
seeds
too.
heavy.
I still remember when we went live and you had those sunflower seeds and I was in the store and I passed a bag of sunflower seeds that tasted like, what it tasted like, it was some type of flavor barbecue season. I tore that bag up and I'm like, doggone it, Danae, sunflower seeds. I haven't eaten sunflower seeds in over
They
15
are
years.
so good. I don't care. I love. I love them. And let me tell you, don't let them be. And this is me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let them be like dill pickled flavored.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my! I am jamming when they have those in the store, and it's only for like 2 to 3 months. Well, at least back in California, there'd only be
Yeah.
like a good 2 to 3 months where you would get those dill pickles. So I would like just as soon as they put them out, I would just buy them up.
Yep.
But then I started to feel like my blood pressure was going up, so I like
Right.
had to chill that out. But baby, let me tell you that and the dill pickle lays. I'm done. I'm out. I'm on the floor. I died. I got back up to eat more, and then I died again. And then I woke up just to make sure that it was okay. And then it's just, girl,
Dill
I
pickle.
love those things.
Okay. I know what to get you now. I know Danae's comfort food, and yes, I am taking so many notes. And you know I'm gonna remember all of it because I do. I get
That's
that's like
so
you
funny.
remember that? Yes, yes, I do. I remember all of that. Remember all
I
of it.
love it. I have to look up what that is though, where I have like weird stuff going on
Mm-hmm.
with like why my mouth. What is that called?
I don't know.
Childhood development. Give me the word I'm looking for, Nally.
I'm
You're so
trying. I'm trying to get it myself. Because I keep thinking of nervous tick, I know it's not. That's not it. It's
it's not.
because
It's like
I
something it's like something
dang
complex.
it. What is it?
Like some people have like like people that have the Oedipus complex. This is a different
Mhm.
kind of complex that
Yeah,
has to deal with your learning like how to talk and things like that.
I know it. I just can't think of it. It'll come to me in a minute. It always does. It'll come in a second. But yeah, for anybody joining, we're talking about pretty much this weekend. It's well, I was saying that during the week it was a little, I don't know, it was a little heavy. Well, not heavy. It felt like a massive shift, and
Yeah.
I didn't feel bad. I just felt mostly emotional. But then at the end of it, I just, I'm feeling drained, like really tired. So I'm like, this weekend, I want to just make it a self care weekend. And we're talking about, our favorite things, like favorite movies and books. And now we're talking about snacks. And as
Yes.
you're going to be starting on snacks, I have a favorite? I, I'm like you. It depends on the day. But if
Yeah.
I had to choose for this weekend, I would probably do. Mm, I'd probably just do a good pizza. I wanted a good pizza,
The cheese.
just
Do you
like a real
do like
pizza.
regular dough or do you do cauliflower?
Both.
Love it.
Like, girl, I am both. I am both. I don't mind. Like, it just depends on the day. Like sometimes I'll get the regular dough because I do like my pizza kind of bready, kind of like almost like Pizza Hut's pan pizza like that, but not so much sauce. So I might just end up making my own. But yeah, I just might end up
Hmm.
making my own pizza. Just you know how you like your pizza. You just don't want to do it yourself.
Yeah. I think
But
I
yeah,
made my own
so
pizza once and that was enough. It was enough.
it's not enough for me. You already know I'm planning to get wood, like a brick or clay pizza oven.
Yeah,
I might
yeah.
just do a brick, like a bricks, like a stone, a brick oven outside to do pizzas in. I just
Mhm.
always wanted to do those. Do you know about that couple? It's like some little island over there near Dubai. there's this couple, they have their like little outdoor garden, and they pretty much spend all day like gathering herbs and making recipes and showing stuff like that. Like I could watch. It's like the ultimate ASMR with just nature. They have little dogs and bunnies that run around. The area's nice, the scenery. They just go and just pick stuff off trees and make, pick up herbs and stuff. I'll send you their page, but it's just
I
like 30
never
minutes of
heard of it.
ASMR. And then I get mad because like I want my land to do that. I want to be on my land making strawberry jam and making curry and stuff and making pizza in a
Well,
brick oven place. I will, but still.
you will. You just have to give it some time. Ow! I broke
Yeah.
my whole knee out of joint. Not
I'm
out of joint.
sorry.
That just really hurts.
It is so strange how I keep meeting people who knees do that. I never knew people's knees did that.
What, popped?
Like, yeah, pop, like, yeah.
All of my bones pop. I can crack my neck sometimes. I go like this and it goes like you could feel it or hear it up the vertebrae.
Right.
Oh, everything pops. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I'm like the straw man or something.
You just need a good massage. When's the time you've been massaged?
I need to go to a chiropractor and I need them to do that
Mm.
thing where they pull me and then like helps decompress my spinal cord. That's what I need.
That
But
is my next
it's
investment.
shorter.
That's my next investment when I move. When next time I move, I am going to get one of those things to turn you upside down to help. What is
Yeah,
it called? You know the machine that I'm talking about, where you hook your
I
legs up
do.
and you.
Yeah.
I've wanted one for so long, and oh man, I remember trying one. It felt so good. Oh, it felt so
I
good
thought,
just to lay there.
oh, you know what you can get until you get one?
But
Get this. It's this thing.
oh
It's
yeah,
by Everlasting Comfort, but it's this thing, and you.
I
Sorry.
remember that, girl. I forgot about that.
Yeah, just put it. You can
Oh,
use it on the floor, and you can use it for your back support on your
mhm.
chair while you're working. I love it.
Girl, don't you already got me spending money? I know I should.
But it's your self
It's
care,
worth
right?
it.
It's
It's
not
worth it.
like
It is.
it's not
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like you're buying like I don't know
Right.
V-Bucks
I
or
got you.
it's for your self
Oh,
care. It's an investment.
investment.
Buy it
It's an
in your
investment
company's
in me.
name and then you can write it off as
I
health
could do
care.
that. I could do that.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I've done that. I did a lot of that last year. I went and got a few mani pedis and wrote them off of my business expense and wrote them off as a business expense. I'm not
Yeah, you got
ashamed of it
to do it
either.
with
I am
everything.
very proud I did it.
Everything you got to write off as a business expense. Your home,
Mm-hmm.
car,
Yep.
your everything, every book that you buy, every herb that you buy, every bowl that you buy,
Remember how I
everything.
told you I get my herbs, I write
Yeah,
that off too. Like, baby, I'm writing it
everything,
all
everything.
receipts.
Your socks. I don't know how you can put your socks as your work uniform. I don't know.
That's a work uniform.
I'm just saying, make it work how you have to.
Yo, I am not arguing with you. I am not one bit. Oh my gosh. And I found my wand. I want to show it to you, but I was just like, it's special. So I'll send you a picture of it, but it's called the Shaman Swan. Hello. Hello. It's time for bed.
Right.
Down.
Yeah.
You give mommy a night kiss?
Can I have a kiss? Good night.
Good night.
I love you.
We love you.
Love you.
I 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 love
I love you so much. I love you so much. It hurts.
So cute. 10 minutes later, I love you. I love it. Ow. My daughter, she just looks at me. She's like, she'll be like, she'll just look at me. I'll be like, it's time for bed. Rub my back. And I'm like, Okay.
You know what that just reminded me of? I don't know if you watched Adventure Time, but Lumpy Space Princess. That's what it just reminded me of. That girl was a Sagittarius if I ever met one. Where my pillow? Where's my bag? Feed
That's what
me.
she'll
Where's
do.
my dinner?
Or if she doesn't want to go to sleep, I have to go potty. I have to go potty. No, mommy, I have to go potty. Okay, let's go potty. We'll get all the way to the bathroom. She's sitting on the toilet. No, I don't have to go potty. And okay, we'll get down. No. I have to go potty. Like, girl, she does everything in the book to not go to bed sometimes. That's
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started with
and
that.
you talking about, I want a little girl. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I said,
I promise you, your little girl will be you. Okay? So she's like snot nosed. I was snot nosed. Like, you don't do it. Well, no, do it. Cause she's so cute. It's so much fun. Don't tell anyone I said that. I didn't admit to that. But having a little girl is like, it's like seeing yourself growing up. And so I know, like, for me, I try to do better. Like, I try to my goal is to share with her everything that at this age I'm like, I wish I knew, you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I wish I knew about well, it's not going to be that way, but like balancing a checkbook, let's say. Like, I wish I knew how to do that before I went to college, you know. I wish I knew my worth before I went to college. You know, like little things like that. I want to teach her, or at least explain to her the importance of, so that she doesn't go out here wilding. I mean, I had a good time. I had a great time.
Had a great time. Hold on.
I had a great time. But
that's better.
If only I knew certain things, I probably wouldn't have gotten my feelings hurt as much as I did. And I wouldn't have put up with so much, thinking that was how it was supposed to be within like the male-female dynamic. So,
girl, and you know what? I was going through my son. You know, he uses we homeschool, but you know, while I plan out the curriculum, I still use K-12, and I use some of their stuff. Girls, tell me why they have all these courses that they should have had for us. Basic and life essentials, pretty, and you know, financial readiness courses. What was the other one?
Did you join that math fund? I think that's what it's called. You can pick like a language, and then they also offer something called math fund. Is that what you're talking about? Or is it in a specific grade that they offer those courses?
No, it's throughout the whole program. It's I think it's called special courses, or it's some type of special elective course. But it teaches them coding, some types of programming. It teaches them herbal medicine making. It teaches them spirituality and meditation. It teaches them about like I said, like life skills, cooking, and even teach it. They have one that, you know, a parent would have to get permission for. I don't know if they have that one. I'm not going to mention that one. No, they probably don't have that one, but you know, the courses like that.
When we enrolled in that, I didn't see any of those courses. Not in the electives.
I'll show you how to get to it. Get to it.
Show me how, because I'm like, that's stuff that we actually need to know. You know, how to.
And I was like, why wasn't this offered when we were kids? I guess we had to get older and be like, these people ain't teaching these children anything about what the real world is. So
they're not giving them opportunity. I would definitely put my son in that spiritual one you were talking about, and that herbalist one, because that's something that he needs to know, since we are doing more like herbal or like high alkaline type of things. It'll be good for him to know the why when we're cooking. So
I there was also a financial readiness one. That's the one I was trying to remember. Financial readiness and
Okay.
credit readiness. There was one on home ownership and home ownership and home readiness. Yes, they were teaching all these courses to kids in school. Why? Why couldn't we? If a
That
financial
doesn't seem
readiness,
fair. I think I'll
it's
just enroll and
not. That's
take
what
the
I
classes for
said.
him.
And I said, do you
That
know how lucky you are? I shouldn't say like that. I don't mean it like that. Like, you know what, boy, you just don't know. But I told him, I say, honey, do you know how much I wish that they offer things like this and I could have just did it from home?
yeah.
Girl, if I was homeschooled, I would have been so antisocial.
I told my mom that too. I needed homeschool when I was little. I needed to be in homeschool. I didn't need to be at that school with those people.
Mm-mm,
I
not at
think
all.
that I think that really, I don't want to complain or make the experience seem like really negative because um I had really good people in my life, but I
Mm-hmm.
think that being around all of those different energies and having to just deal with, it's like the discomfort of having low self-esteem in junior high and high school and having to be around a lot of people that you compare yourself to because you don't remember at that age, you don't remember like who you are really. It was just it was it caused a lot of anxiety and unnecessary, I guess, fear maybe is the right word. But nevertheless, I didn't need to be in public school or whatever.
I
I
got
needed to
you.
just have my ass at home, with the books and the videos, watching the thing, doing whatever, and calling it a day. Because, oh my God, it was a lot. And then you trying to pretend to be who you're not just so that you can fit in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So ridiculous. But
You know,
anyways.
I feel lucky when it comes to my high school experience because I would say it was really diverse. You know, it
Mhm.
was they say it was mostly predominantly white, but I would say like 50% of school was white, 49%, well 47% was black, and then you know you had other. We really didn't have much by the way of Latin American, Asian, or anything else. You know, just because it was I wouldn't say it was a small town. It was I wouldn't call it a large city, but it wasn't. It's a
Yeah.
large. I was just. It has a mall. That's the best I can say. It has a mall. So but yeah. So it's just. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking about it. It's just like, man, like you had, you know, of course, people in different groups. You know, of course, you had people who play sports and people who were in band and everything else like that. But the I don't remember just there just being a popular crowd. I just remember everybody being recognized for shit they were good at. You know, like, you know, oh, the basketball team, there's that basketball player. Oh, that girl right there, yeah, she can sing. Oh, yeah, that girl right there, Nally can dance her ass off. You can't tell her nothing when that music start playing.
Right.
Like, you know, that type of thing. So, you know, I feel like fortunate enough to feel like, you know what, there wasn't a really popular and unpopular. Everybody just had their kind of thing, you know. And I felt fortunate enough to be able to kind of bounce around because I didn't just like to sing. I like to dance. I like to, you know, get dance line. I like to sneak into the band, you know, when the band's practicing, I would sneak out of
Hmm.
class and go in there and be with them. Like I was never in class. I was always sneaking out of class to go to band or go to choir, go somewhere else, go to somebody's class. Miss
Nelly,
Jones,
don't tell me you were a bad kid. You were one of
I
those
wasn't
kids.
back. No. I graduated with a 4.34. I was not a
That
bad
doesn't
kid.
mean you wasn't bad.
I think that's what it is. Like at first, you know, the first couple of
You
years,
was
you're in the
bad.
principal. Like the first couple of months, you're in the principal. Miss Jones, why are you in here? Well, I was minding my business, and the teacher decided to ask me a question. I answered it, and she didn't like my answer. And then I gave her a further answer, and now I'm sitting here. And she was like, "Well, what did she ask you?" I said, "She asked me, it was something having to do with DNA." And
Mm-hmm.
I started saying something about a regressive gene that she didn't like. Don't come over here with it if I'm not gonna, you know. And
Oh my
to the
god.
principal's office I go. And it was like that for a couple weeks. Miss Jones, why are you in my look? And by my junior year, I had nothing left to do except go to the career center and work for the counseling complex. So I was never in class. I finished, but they in Louisiana they don't bump you up a grade unless like for some reason you got held back unjustly. But so they
Mm.
wouldn't let me graduate early. So I was just bored. So I had nothing else to do. So I was always in everybody else's class. Miss Jones, this is not your class. You don't know that. Go to your class. That was me. I had
What?
detention every other day, but I never went. Girl, how many times was I supposed to be suspended? Girl, I never got in trouble.
That's so weird to me. Like, like the disobedience of it all is mind-boggling. I
I wasn't
think,
doing anything wrong.
but still, but that just shows how I was programmed, right? You seem like you were a very like free spirit child, whereas I'd be like, oh my god, I'm gonna get in trouble. And it's not that I would be scared about getting in trouble at something at school. It was the fact that they would tell my mother. I was afraid of her. So I would like do my best. Like, I mean, I know I got into some stuff, but I would like do my best. Like, just don't. Please. Don't call my mama, you know?
See, I
But
got
yeah.
I had older siblings and they had cell phones. So the number that you would put on there to reach or contact your parent was mostly my brother, or by the time I got to my junior year, it was my cell phone. So they would just be calling me. And like
Girl.
I'll put it like this. I grew up with Jehovah's Witness. In the mornings, you have to knock on people's door.
Yeah.
Well, there's a thing called informal witnessing where you would, I'm sure you've probably been approached at a gas station or a grocery store or something like that. Well, that's called informal. So we would get up and we would start informal witnessing at 5 a.m. because you had to put in time and hours in field service. You had to go and do it, and then you had to turn it in as proof. So in the mornings before school, we would get up early, like 4, and go informal witnessing until about 7 or 8, and then we get breakfast and we get dropped off at school. Problem is, we these kind of people, so I would always be late, and it got to the point where I was tardy so much that they had to suspend me. And she was like, "I'm gonna have to call your mom," and I'm like, "All right." She was like,
What?
you're going to get suspended. I was like, yeah, I know. I said, my mom can corroborate where I am. She's with me. What, your mom knows you're suspended? I said, she's the reason why I'm late.
Yeah.
I said, so call her. I said, please call her. Girl, I'll tell you about my mom later. But when I tell you this woman came in, you're telling me that you're going to suspend my daughter for serving God? Are you serious? What kind of school is this, ma'am? Miss Clark, Miss Clark. That's not exact, Miss Clark, Miss Clark, Miss Clark. Look. This is not my decision. This is school policy. Look, ma'am, I understand. I'm just here to do my job. She'll be waiting in the front office. I'm sorry. Look, if you would have taken up she made that woman cry. She made that woman cry.
That's horrible.
So, but you know what? I got the day off and I spent the entire day, with her. But that was me. Like I did what I wanted. I did what I wanted in high school. Nobody just, I just, you're not gonna. They get, like I said, they gave them on trying to stop me.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Miss
I could.
Jones, what?
I could not even imagine.
Girl, they would call. I got in trouble so much one time. I got in trouble twice before I left the office to go back to my classroom, and I got called back. Natalie Jones, please come back to the office. It's like, and somebody heard me say, "Dang, what I do now?" That was me,
That's crazy.
but I never got detention. I never got in school suspension for any of those things. The only time I ever got in trouble was for being late, and that was because of my mom.
That's crazy. That
Did
is
y'all
crazy.
have to wear badges at school?
We had IDs,
Yeah,
but
ID
that was
badges.
like
Yeah,
that. We didn't have to wear them.
we did.
We just carried it with us. But it was like, to get. It wasn't to. I don't know. It wasn't really for like identification while on campus. It was just for if we went to a game to prove that we could get the discount. Stuff.
Girl, I'm just realizing how much the F we've been programmed.
What
Think about it. We have a card that we use to show for identification. Like in my school, you could not get in if you didn't have your ID. If you didn't have your ID, you had to pay $1 to get a temporary ID, or you had to get detention for not
happened?
having it. And if you lost your ID, you had to pay I think like $4 or $5 to get a new one. You had to keep your ID. That's how you ate lunch. You had to scan it. They had to scan it for lunch, and if you go to a
Really?
library, yeah, you have to use it to scan. And sometimes if your parents loaded money on there, it's how you would pay for lunch. Or if you go to a concession stand, it's how you would pay for that. They were doing that to us in high school, yo.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess for us, it started in junior high. And yeah, we
Yeah,
had to
it starts
for
for me
the
in junior high
library.
too.
I
Yeah.
didn't go to the library though, so I don't think I ever used it for that.
I'm
And
sorry.
for like
You were
lunch,
cool, okay, Danae. You were cool. We get it.
no, I just wasn't. Their library was ugly.
Oh.
It didn't, it didn't have the books that I would read. It didn't have magazines. I mean, I was in high school in like the late '90s, so like the internet wasn't that great. It
Mm-hmm.
was just like boom, 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 whatever that dial up was.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't go to the library, not because I was cool, but just it was whack.
I stayed at the library. I was at the library in school. I was at the library in the city. I love the library. Like I have a candle scent right now that's library. When you burn it, it actually smells like the inside of a library. Yes,
Really?
I love libraries just that much. I love the smell of books like that. I
I
do.
don't like libraries. I like bookstores, but probably because they like have coffee
Yeah,
sellers.
I do. No, I get that. I get that. And to me, as long as
But
it's
I've
the smell
never,
of books.
yeah, I've never been a library person. But also, like, you can't talk in the library,
I
so
always
that's
talk.
not fun. But you're not to, yeah. But it's like you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be quiet. And I'm like, let's follow the rules.
Nah,
You know.
nah.
So like you'd have to be quiet. Our librarians were really like sticklers for that, even at like the public library. So I just
I
wasn't
don't
a.
mind. I'm sorry. I guess maybe I was just a goofy ass kid. And they just gave up. But I was like, hey, Miss Jones, go on in, baby. Okay, you got them books? Yes, ma'am. I turned them in. Go ahead then. And sometimes they were like, baby, don't go over there. Somebody's strange over there. You go over there where I can see you. That's how, girl, I was like 11, 10, 11, walking to the library. I knew where I wanted to be.
I guess have fun, do
I
what
like
you want
books.
to do.
Like, you know how bad it was. I was such a reader. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had friends, but I was such a reader that my mom could not find a way to really ever punish me. She couldn't take the phone away because I never really had anybody ever calling me because I didn't want to feel like talking like that. And I didn't really have hobbies that she could take away because it was mostly crocheting, knitting, sewing, or reading. How you gonna take that from me? So it's just like you grounded from From the phone.
That's
Okay.
so weird. So you were like a rebel, but also like a nerd, but like really really smart, but like defiant. Like you were like that's so interesting. I
Like I
I
said,
wouldn't think to put that together.
I don't check a box. I don't check a box. I never will. But yeah, that was me. It's just, if my mom ever described me as anything, and like I said, me and her don't have the best relationship, but she would
Hmm.
always describe me as just somebody that just always just knew. She would always say like I never really had to watch over me or do really anything for me because I just kind of knew how to do things for myself. I was the
Right.
independent one she never had to worry about. But she also forgot, I am still a girl. I still do need my mom. But it was a toss up between my older sister and my younger sister. Now, they were the ones that were in trouble. My
Mm.
older sister was the sneaking out one. My younger one was the so many boyfriends and me. I was just like, all right, I ain't gonna say nothing. Just bring me back something. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Bring me
I
some
never snitched.
fries.
I did not snitch. I never snitched. I was like, I'm going out. Don't say nothing. Cover for me. I got you. Go ahead. Where your sister? Oh, she didn't feel good. She says her period. She's in the bed. Oh, okay. Like, I had my sisters back. I ain't gonna snitch, but they still were in trouble. But I was the one she would say I never really had to worry about. But that often led to me being ignored too.
Oh.
Yeah, like I can, I can be honest with it. You know what? My childhood was not perfect. I grew up with trauma too. Hey, so, you know,
Hey, trauma. Nice to meet you.
hey, trauma. Hey, so it's the thing, and I try to watch out for that for my own kids. My older son, he's getting to the point where he's being independent. My
Hmm.
7 year old, as long as you give him the things he like in his environment, he's good. He doesn't really like to be bothered like that.
Right.
And my youngest one, of course, he wants all the attention. He's a Pisces. But I try to check myself and be like, you know what? Even though they are, becoming independent, that doesn't mean that they still don't need me around. And my oldest even said, Mom, you don't hug me as much as you used to. And I'm like, you I was like, you know what? You're right. I don't hug you that much like I used to. And I was
Why?
like, you miss my
What are
hug.
you doing?
I didn't think anything of it. I thought that maybe, because he's 13 and developing, he didn't want a hug anymore. But he was just like, no, I still want a hug from my mom. And I was like,
Oh,
I'm
that
the
is
best kid
so
in the world.
nice.
And he's
I would make
14 and he's,
me.
huh?
I said I would make my son hug me. Get up, give me. I need a hug. Give me a hug. Give me a
He's
hug.
so sweet. He's just like, no, he's just like, no, Ma, I still want hugs from you. And I'm just like, okay. I didn't want to, I know you're 14 and developing. I didn't want to I'll give you hugs, I'll give you all the hugs you want.
You're like you're my baby. Oh, I just love you so
I was like,
much.
don't you remember? It was just me and you. It was just me and you, boy. We was all over the place. I still think about that. Before I did get married, me and him, we were never at home. Like, I had just returned back to being a witness, so I had friends all over the country that were waiting to see me. It's like, we heard you had a little boy, we heard you had a baby, come see us. One weekend I'm in Vegas, the next I'm in Florida, the next I'm in New York, the next, like, I'm all
Yeah.
over the place. We were never home. It was just me and him, and we had so much fun. Like, wherever he went, I was like, I'm not the mom that leaves my kids with people. I can't be that person. My kids stay with me. Because I know they're taking care of with me. But
Mm-hmm.
occasionally they go, with relatives and stuff. But for the most part,
Oh yeah.
traveling, it was just me and him, like all over the place. Like every time we go somewhere, man, he dressed sharp. He was my date. He always had the tuxedos on. I'm gonna send you a picture that it was just me and him, and I can't say that I was lonely. I can't say that I was unhappy. I I I I was, girl, it was so free. Just me and him. Of
Oh
course it wasn't the ideal situation, but we still
yeah.
just had so much fun.
That's good though.
Yeah.
You have
And
that
so
time to like bond with him in a way that you probably haven't been able to with your younger ones, because you've had to,
mhm.
you're now being shared
Yeah.
amongst three of them. So
Hmm.
yeah.
That's what it is. So, have you ever read, what is it called? The Non-Celestine or something like that. Celestine Prophecies or something like that. You ever heard of that book?
Mm-mm.
The Celestine Prophecies. In there, it's kind of like, you ever heard of the Tao Te Ching?
No.
No. It's it's kind of like, it's kind of like Chinese Asian philosophy. I don't know the best way to put it. I wouldn't assign it to a certain religion like Buddhism or Hinduism
Well,
or something like
are
that.
you talking about like Taoism
It's
itself?
some it's
Is it like
something like
Taoism? Okay.
something like that. Yeah, something like that. So yeah,
Okay.
I would, you know what, I would say it would kind of fall under those principles. But
Okay.
in one of them, it talks about, oh goodness, I just lost my thought. It left. I'll think of it later.
Okay.
What was I saying? I'm sorry. Like I started thinking about the Tao Te Ching, and I was like, "Am I saying it right?" And the entire. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. I'm back now. The Celestine prophecies. They're kind of like, the Taoism principles,
Mm-hmm.
and in the book, it talks about, going through certain periods in your spiritual evolution, and what you said just reminded me of it. That's why I was thinking maybe you were talking about, like a certain prophecy or Taoism or something like that, because it sounded like that.
In regards to what?
It was what you said about, being all over the place, having your kids with you, and it reminded me there's a principle in there about having children and giving
Okay.
children time and space to be with them. And there's a principle in there that kind of leans toward the belief of you shouldn't have a child if you don't have the time, the space, the energy to give them the attention and caring that they need, because every child is differently demanding than the other.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the I guess principles,
Okay.
that you not have more children than you can give love and affection and attention to, that sustains them. What do you think about that?
I agree with that notion.
But
However, in my belief is that before you're on this planet, you've already spoken to who were going to be your kids, right?
exactly.
So regardless of if you have the attention or not, or time, you've already made your commitment.
Hmm.
So the relationship that you have with your children is exactly the relationship that you're supposed to have, in order for not only your soul but also for their souls to learn the lessons that they're supposed to learn, that you all agreed upon before you came to this planet.
You see, and that's the part that breaks my heart, because I worked in social services too long.
Mm-hmm. And you've probably seen a lot where you're just like, why did you have children? And
And that's
let me just say this one thing. I know that it can be heart wrenching because you see a lot of like effed up shit, right?
mhm.
However, if you are one who believes that you agreed upon these certain things prior to coming to Earth, then
Yeah.
you have to also believe that in some way each individual person will learn their lesson. Like maybe the victim will learn, I don't know. The victim will learn how to not allow their trauma to take dominion over their whole life after, after the whatever caused the victimization, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the person who inflicted the pain on that person, right, onto the victim,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully then they would learn love and compassion, and they will learn that there are, the consequences of your actions are going to be a I don't know, it'll be equal, right? The consequences will be equal to your actions, or maybe even worse. So maybe that person needed to learn how to love, how to be patient, how to communicate, how to control their emotions, like their anger. They might need to have learned how to listen better. They might need to learn to speak the truth.
Mm-hmm.
There could be so many reasons why so many things happen, and unfortunately, like, it does happen, and it's sad, and it can be emotionally draining. But like
Absolutely.
with all things, with all things that have matter, that are things that have consciousness, like there's a reason behind everything that happens. And so we can't get wrapped up on the sadness of it, but contemplate and have faith that on the other side things will be better.
You know, it was a running joke and a meme that was going around, and it was a picture of a guy just sitting there, just kind of watching like this. And
Uh-huh.
it said God watching you, God throwing some X in your way to watch you go through character development. And I was like,
Because
really?
God
That's
has a sense of humor.
God has a sense of humor.
He's a little
God has a sense of
sneaky.
humor, throwing his clown at you for character development. Because in the end, that's kind of what it feels like. This is all a big thing that's meant to take us through character development. God damn it. Why would we do this? Why would we do this to ourselves?
To
What?
have the experience, it's all just about to
Man,
have the experience.
F
Yeah, but
all that.
if we're all from the same source of life, we're all from the same consciousness, split into trillions and trillions of different beings, right? It's all just for the experience, the individual experience that you are having with trillions of other beings simultaneously. Like, that's all it's about. It's just for the experience.
I'm gonna say this. I feel like I got played. I feel like I got sold a bad timeshare program. I feel like they were not honest. I feel like I got duped. Like, I feel like I got sold a lemon card. Like,
You were
yeah, man, this thing
bamboozled
got
and
seats.
hoodwinked.
This got the like Bose sound up in it. The leather up in there, man. You get up in that mug, the ceiling coming down. The radio was an 8-track. You got to get a tape player with the thing and just a plug into your phone. Hope it'll play. I feel like I feel like I got played. I got played hard. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm just saying what we all feeling. If you feel like you got played, it's okay. Say it. I feel like I got played. Coming down here, I got tricked.
I don't know. I
Hoodwinked.
don't know if I got played.
Bamboozled.
I don't know if I got played, but I know if I know that it hasn't been I don't know. It hasn't been the most fairest thing that could have happened, but I don't know. It's just life. I don't want to complain about
Oh no.
what I've been through. I just want to move forward and live better.
Right.
Like I don't know. I think for me, I'm very, very much over living in the past and
Oh yeah,
going through the cycles and all of that. Like
girl.
100%, I just want to move forward and I want to live my life of ease and I want to be abundant in health, wealth, and love and passion and whatever else that is good for me and
Because
just
it is your
do
natural
it.
state. It is your natural
Yeah.
state to be in a place of calm. It is your natural state to be in a place of ease and peace, surrounded by abundant resources. It is your
Right.
natural state to be those things.
Hoorah. Absolutely. I'm here for it 100%. I'm just
So,
ready. Like, I'm just ready for that part of the chapter. I'm ready for this is what I'm ready for. I'm ready for that part of the chapter where I'm just like sitting there on a Wednesday and I'm like looking at my kids and I'm like, "Hey, do you guys want to go to Paris for lunch?" And then the next day we're up getting on the private plane and we're going to Paris for lunch. Like that's where that's where I want to go, you know? Or even as simple as I wake up in the morning and I open my patio doors out of my bedroom and I
mhm,
look and there's just like a beautiful garden, like an oasis with a waterfall and like roses and my favorite flowers, you know? Like even if it's just as simple as that, but just waking up to beautiful things, like that's all I want. I don't want to wake up anymore to you know having to live in I guess, and not that I'm complaining, but I would like to just live where the land is mine and I can do as I please and I can walk around as I please and I'm away from other people so I don't
mhm.
have the noise pollution and then at the same time I'm not worried about the noise that I'm causing, you know?
Exactly. Right.
Like I'm just ready. I'm just ready for that easy breezy, beautiful cover girl life. And that's it.
Yeah. And when I say this, don't think that I'm saying that this is what you're doing, and I'm in no way. I'm just saying this is what I just thought of just then, just when you were speaking. When I think I mentioned Brown and Bendy. If you don't know who she is, she's a really good, life coach on YouTube. And
Mhm.
she throws out some things about manifestation and writing and reprogramming your mind and your attitude. And she mentioned about how, it's important to surround yourself with pretty much what you want to see. How do I put this? Because she put it way better than I am right now. She's like, if you're a person that wants to be in luxury,
Mhm.
make your space to where you feel that you are in luxury. Like she's like, even if it's just a small space, you go in here and she's like, let's just say it's a favorite pillow or a favorite comforter or blanket or just something you keep there. She's like, even if you feel like you don't have much, she said, if you just make a paper flower, if that's what you want to get up in the morning and pick up a rose and smell it, just have that there and keep getting up every day trying to recreate the cycle of you putting yourself in a place of living in luxury and ease. And that's when, it all kind of came full circle for me. It's just like, so not only trying to create and try to picture it just for a moment of waking up and going outside, but also feeling like, you know what, and looking around, I've manifested this stuff and I can manifest what pretty much what you were saying. I could manifest having my own land and being left alone in peace and things like that. It was just like so bomb how you put all of that together and you don't even understand what you just did for the people who were listening. It was amazing. Like you helped them visualize for a moment what I want, what I
Yeah.
feel like luxury is. And you're like, I don't give a damn who knows it and feels it. for a moment when you help them visualize that, you help them bring that life closer, and that was so awesome. I'm sorry, I'm listening, but like it's dope. I love to see people do that, and it's just like you do it without even realizing it. It's awesome.
I don't know. It's just this is natural.
Well,
Okay.
and you know
But
what? You
no,
really
what
are
you
good
were
at it. Go ahead.
no, I was saying what you were saying though about how having little things in your life to bring to make you feel like you're living in luxury. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's so it's interesting that you mentioned that because that's how I like decorated. Like there's certain pieces in my house where I'm like, this is it. Like this is the bee's knees, right? Like my
Mm-hmm.
work desk is a white top, wood white top, but then the base is like a metal painted in candy paint gold. So it
Mm-hmm.
like sparkles. And
Yes.
like there's just different pieces in my room that are white and gold. And that always has represented like just richness, you know? Even my makeup mirror is like white lights, gold frame, candy paint gold.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but it's interesting that you say that because I never thought of it like that. Like you need to live in it. I'm just living like I was just looking at it like I have to have that so that I can be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not the only thing that's gonna make me happy, but I have to have that to bring to what is the word? To increase my happiness.
Right.
So yeah,
You know, it
girl.
made me. Well, the reason why I felt like what it's important to at least what I found so practical about what she said was the fact that it just makes sense. It was an older woman. I think I saw her on TikTok, and she was saying that a regret of hers was not enjoying her life when things weren't perfect. She was just like, oh, I'll be happy when I have, or I'll be happy when I can do this, or I can't wait to enjoy life when I have. And she was just
Mhm.
like, it just made her regret all those moments when things weren't perfect and she just didn't appreciate that moment, that time, that period. And she wasted so much time saying that I'll be happy when that she, you know, like I said, she wasted so much time just not being happy because of not having the ideal circumstances.
Right.
So I was like, you know what, that stuck and that was like really powerful. I was like, you know what, I feel like I've done that. I can enjoy life when I have my house and it's, me and my land and I got people who will, walk my gate and everything else and make sure nobody's coming through that I don't want to see. And I can feel
Yeah.
secure when I have this and that. It's just like, do I have what I need right now at this moment? Yeah. Am I going to
Hmm.
be okay in the next couple moments? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
That's just like
mhm.
Psalms. Is it Psalms 23 or Psalms 24?
I think it's
Anyways,
Psalm
in my version,
23.
huh?
I think it's Psalm 23, but go ahead.
Yeah, because in my version it basically says that I have like the Lord is my shelter. I have all that I need.
Mm.
And then it talks to I haven't memorized it, but walking through what is it, the green pastures or what have you. And
Oh,
whenever
yeah.
I read that, I always get this thought in my mind that in this very moment in what I am doing, everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. Everything is perfect, everything is good, everything will turn out to be good. Like everything
Mm-hmm.
in this very moment as I'm reading the scripture and I'm remembering all of the amazing things that have happened to me in my life, I am right here and I'm happy and whatever. I mean, and it may not always be amazing, but
Yeah.
I'm really, really trying to focus on just being positive. And it's
And
hard. It's
yeah.
really, really hard. But all of the angel numbers that I've been seeing, they're all like saying the end result is that maintain a positive state of mind so that
Right.
you can continue to attract all the things that you want. So
Exactly. It's
as I
all
was saying, like everything,
Mm-hmm.
Everything right now is good, and there's nothing to worry about. That's how
I
I
get
think.
that one
That's
too.
how I
It's
look
like
at it.
333 444 444 hits me a lot. Like there is nothing to fear. Your guides and angels are working, behind the
Right.
scenes to make sure everything's all right. Everything is okay. Like all is good. You
Right.
good. It's like,
Everything is
well,
good.
I want to feel gooder.
But it's coming. It's
I
coming.
know.
You have to be present. You have to stay in the present and
Absolutely.
be aware of the goodness of the now, of the today. Like tomorrow doesn't even exist yet, If tomorrow doesn't exist yet, so you don't worry about the gooder of tomorrow.
The
Worry
gooder
about
of
what gooder could be today.
Yep. I already told you, Danae, you already know I'm going to have an attitude. It's fine, but I'm going to have an attitude. Like Dave told the truth. I am a lot, but still, that's my favorite word, but still. But
Right.
still.
It's fine. You be who you are. Always, like 100%. Don't ever try to not like be somebody different, especially not around me, because I'm gonna look at you like that's not you, dog. I'm reading your energy. That's not you. Like, come on, stop it. Stop
I'm sorry.
it.
I can't be nobody but a goofball. Like, I'm sorry. Life is too short and too doggone serious to be stuck up all the time.
I
So
don't know. I like being stuck up sometimes.
have you ever gone skinny dipping, Danae? Just honestly,
Have
have you ever
I?
gone skinny dip? Yeah.
No, I've never gone skinny dipping, but there was a time in my life for 7 years straight. Every day on my birthday, it would rain. And so every day, so like the first year it happened, I was like, shouldn't I? Anyways, I will go outside butt naked. Like I would go in my backyard and just like stand there with the rain coming down. And it did it for 7 years, and then it just like it stopped or whatever. Something happened, and I just didn't do it anymore. But no, I've never gone skinny dipping. Here's why. Because like I wouldn't go in a lake, because you never know what's in a lake. Like there could be eels or whatever, and I don't want it going up in my personals. And then I've never gone in a pool because like it's a public place. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, but yeah,
You never
long
been
way
to
to
a
say
Korean
no. I've
spa?
never been skinny dipping.
You never been to a Korean spa?
No, I would
Bathhouse?
go. I've seen those like on the anime shows, and you get in there and everybody's like butt naked. I've seen that, but I wouldn't. I don't know.
You want to go?
I don't want to say I would never do it, but in this very moment, if you were like, "Hey, Danae, let's go to the Korean spa," I'd be like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Why?
Because I don't have
Everybody's
like
nude.
I know that.
Everyone.
I don't have a desire to see everybody nude, and I don't have a desire to allow everyone to see me nude.
But no,
right?
It's mostly women and nobody's paying attention. It's just
I
everybody's
know,
walking around.
but no, that's not my jam. It's not
Okay.
my jam. I don't want to see anybody's titties that go down to their kneecap. Like I don't want to see people that have bushes. I don't want to see all that. Like when I'm in my personalage, right? I want to be by myself or with a loved one. I don't want to. I don't. In this phase that I'm in right now, no, I would not.
I'm just gonna say this. I get it. I get 100% get it. I'm not against it. I'm not gonna pressure you. I am not, because at one point I was that person. But the moment I became a massage therapist is the moment that I had to become comfortable with the naked body. And I after a while, it's just like, you know what? The human body gonna do what the human body gonna do. And I don't care. Like, it is what it is. Like after touching a couple hundred people, I'm just like, it is what it is. So I don't care. Like, So when you're there, it's mostly, Korean people, but it's a mixed race. Well, the spa I'm talking about is called Jeju in Atlanta. Well, I think it would be closer to, but you just call it. It's technically in Atlanta, but don't get me started on that. People, it's not Atlanta if it's not in. I don't want to hear that. Just look up Jeju near Atlanta. You'll know what I'm talking about. But in there, it's like you have to walk in, and to get into the spa area, because they have 3 different pools. There's a hot pool, a medium pool, and an ice cold pool. You got to go in there, shower off. There are no private stalls. You got to pick a place. It's clean. Don't get me wrong. It's clean. They keep it very, very clean and hygienic, but you have to shower off and clean yourself before getting into those tubs, or else they won't let you in. And they have steam rooms and everything else. Now the common area has like different type of steam huts, and those you have to be dressed, but they give you their clothes to put on, because I guess they have a special wash or something, but you lock your clothes up, you wear their clothes when you're going around, and it's really cool. You ain't gotta be naked all the time, but I'm just saying, like, why?
I don't want to share that. I don't know.
Kendrin, was that Kendrin? He says she don't want to get traumatized. It's not Trump. There's nothing. Look, I'll say it like this. I've even taken my kids. Like, they have a separate section for the men, and they were with their dad when they went. And of course, my son was a little uncomfortable, but after that, he was just like, yeah, it's just a human body. It is what it is. Like, don't get uncomfortable. I look, it is going to do what it's going to do.
Okay.
You don't like dad bods, do you?
I don't like what?
Dad bods.
What are dad bods? Like dads? Old dads?
Like, okay. So, like the dad bod is, it's not a guy who's toned, who has, like cuts and abdominal muscles and everything else, all the obliques and everything else showing. He more so kind of has.
Looking.
Yeah, he's,
I've dated a few guys who were
well,
thick.
they call that the dad bod. It's just like, so does the guy have to have, a couple cuts of muscle here and there, or do you mind the little tummy and everything else?
I think they're okay. Okay. It like there's a lot going on in my head right now.
Sorry.
Okay. A man's body. Okay. A man's body is not like the first thing that I look at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they treat me really, really well, I could accept them how they are. I don't want to make it seem like bad, but like, dude could be like, have a gut, but he treats me really well. And like, that gut will just be like my love muscle, like, I just want to rub your tummy. I just love you so much. I'm like rubbing up on him. Right. But a guy could also have like this body of like Adonis god, but treat me like crap, and I'll be like, he is the ugliest motherfucker on the planet. You know what I mean? So It just depends. Or they can have a really nice body. I don't really.
You don't have a preference.
Yeah, I don't have a preference. I like all. Let me just is. He just has to be chocolate. That's all he has to be. He has to be chocolate.
DENAY, I do
That's
declare.
Like, he has, like, if not, like, the first thing I see is the chocolatiness of someone. On occasion, I have gone with like the French vanilla, right? No, hazelnut. Let me be clear. Okay? I have gone like with the hazelnuts. I have gone with the butter, not the butter pecan, the peanut butter, right? I married a peanut butter. had some very, very good people who were butterscotch. But but the ones the ones who I remember the most, right, were chocolate. Because it was just that I don't know. It's just that
I
their
know. I
skin, the
know.
color,
I
it
know.
smells different too. I don't care what you guys. That might seem crazy, right? But
No,
it
it's
does.
true. It's true.
Chocolate
It's
skin
true.
smells different. It does. It's like that's what it smells like. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I can't even talk about it.
I'm not gonna say I have a preference as far as body, but if you ask me, I would prefer a dad bod just because look, I like to cook a lot and I need you to eat. And I need like I'm sorry, but I'm not the type that's gonna be all over you, but when I want to be, I really would like somebody who's warm and cuddly. I'm so sorry, but
Yeah.
skinny guys just I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a person being skinny. Trust me, I know my kids are gonna be long, skinny, and everything else because of who their uncles are and their, their dad is. But
Mm-hmm.
I like a plumper guy, and I was like, let me feed you. It's like I'm sorry, but if I meet you and you're too skinny, I'm immediately thinking, boy, you need to eat. Like I need to feed you something. But of course, I don't cook, until we get to a certain point. But I like
Yeah.
a healthier guy, and I don't have a preference as far as skin color, just as long as it's melanated.
Mm.
That's just it, and it's not saying that I don't date other people. Of course I've dated I've dated other races quite a bit, but my
Yeah.
preferences, of course. But you know what? Me and a couple people were talking about this yesterday, and we were, talking about do you think there's a number or a certain percentage when it
Kedron for the
comes to,
likes.
huh?
I was saying thank you, Kedron, for the likes.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was like, do you think the amount of black women that want black men are higher than the amount of black men that want black women? Because if we pay attention to what, of course, they want us to pay attention to, they make it seem like our black men just don't want us all together. Like, you know, but
I
I really truly feel like a lot of the majority of black women do want or prefer to be with a black male. Like
mm,
that's their like top preference. Like most black women. I want to say that fairly, but
yeah.
I'm not gonna
I
put
mean,
that
I
out
don't
there.
know because I haven't heard from all of the black women and all
Yeah,
of them.
exactly.
I don't know
Exactly.
what they want. I don't know what I want half the time. You know, do I want an espresso? Do I just want a regular decaf? I don't know. Give me both of them, right? Whatever
I
tastes the
taught
best,
you
I
well.
guess.
I
I
taught you
don't
well.
know. I don't know what other people want. I know that there's a lot of negativity going between men and women, and
It's getting on my
I
nerves.
know that needs to stop.
It is
Like
getting
you
on my
can
nerves,
like,
and it
yeah.
seems like it's
Mm,
becoming like an attack on like, and I know some women may feel like how. Sorry, hold on a second. It's like, I feel like some people feel like, oh, it's an attack on black men. It's like, yeah, it is. It is an attack on black men. How can you say that black men are doing this and that to women? I was like, is it? Or is that all we're being shown and all we're being seen and all that's being focused on right now? Because I can swear that I also come across many a profile of black men saying, you know what? We do need to be accountable. We do need to do this. We do need to do that. We do need to recognize women as, our equals and this and that or the other. So it's just like, you know what? I'm not. I, I know that our men need help. They do. And I feel like that's why people like me and you are here. But I am not here for it just seems like they are doing everything they can to demonize black men and make them seem like they just don't want black women. And it's like I can't scroll a day without seeing, black men don't want black women. This black men don't want this black woman. Just like, look, we get it. There are some out there who don't F with us. We've been dealing with that for our entire lives. But now it just seems like that's all they want to throw out there. And it's getting on my nerves. Like, you need to stop. This needs to stop.
But
Like,
that's just the programming, right?
yeah.
If you were
But
to,
you see people feeding into it though, and that's the dumb part about it. I'm
yeah, but
sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you yourself can only control
Mm-hmm.
your own behavior. So
Right.
you
Yeah.
yourself have to be the one to say, I'm not interested in seeing that. You have to be the
Mm-hmm.
one to not um comment and like or share. You can, sharing negativity, is going to spread it more as well. It's going to spread it just as much as it being in your head. It's all
Yeah.
about the programming. At the end of the day, living in this matrix, it's all about the programming.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they push at you is, if you look at it long enough, it's going to, or pay attention to it long enough, it's going to start affect you. It's going to start
Right.
affecting you. You can only be true to yourself. You can only do what works for you. You can't worry about what everybody else is doing.
No, of course
You
not.
can't you can't do anything like. And then, just to piggyback on what you were saying, like how they are demonizing black men, of course they are. And
Mm-hmm.
then at the same time, they're demonizing black women.
Oh yeah.
They're like, oh, she's the angry black woman. Oh, since you're saying this about black men, you must be single. Like, no, you know what I mean? What are you doing? Oh, so you have to I honestly believe that at the end of the day, black men and black women, whether regardless of what you like, there has to be at some point some type of unity between all of us, and just
Mm-hmm.
having, we all have, at some point we all have to have the same desire to just be better, better for ourselves,
Exactly.
better for our community, better for whatever, right?
It makes me look at the people who are feeding into it, and it's just like, y'all realize we got sons that are gonna grow into men. I'm not that's the reason why I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna sit here and jump on this train, because yeah, I do feel like our men need to do better. They need to catch up. But it's just
I just
it's just,
think
I
that
guess I wish I guess maybe my I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't even know if it's a matter of them catching up. I think it's just a matter that we need to stop really focusing so hard on the ones that we may think or deem to be like beneath us, because there's, I don't know, maybe I don't want to misconstrue anything that you're saying, but like on my timeline for social media, it's like I see a lot of things where it's like a lot of negativity towards the uneducated black woman who lives in the hood, who has all these kids. So I don't
Mhm.
know.
You're right.
Why can't we just say we want all of our people to catch up? We want all of our people to um live a life, a really good life. We want all of them to have an education, whatever that may look like to them, because going to
Right.
college isn't necessarily going to mean you have an education. Sometimes just having common sense and wisdom and discernment could be intelligence or an education. Um,
Right. I say it from a place of, and this is just my point of view, people may not agree. I don't, when it comes to the amount of healing taking place within the black community, when it comes to the amount of healing taking place within the black community, I don't think, I personally don't feel like it's enough men. That, and that's what I mean. Like, men have to catch up. And I'm not saying like, men are the cause of a problem, or I mean that in a negative way. I just mean, look, y'all, like, y'all got to step away from wanting to be at the white man's table and start understanding that our ways were better before there was this idea of dominance and alpha wolf and all this other stuff. Our relationships were fine before that mess came along. And it's just like, I don't know, maybe it's just me that sees that it's almost like I see almost a desperate grip hold on this dominance and submission and being the head and lead and everything else. And it's just like, look, you see it's not working. Let it go. Just let it go. Okay, nobody's holding this against you. We not kicking you out the house. We here trying to help you. We here trying to love you. Just come home and stop the foolishness. Okay, like you can see it doesn't work. Why are you still trying to keep this going? And that's where it came from, like a place of, you know what? Yeah, you see a lot of men doing the work and it's beautiful, but is it enough to me? No, you got to catch up a little bit. That's what I meant. And like I said, I know that just may be my perspective, and I don't mean to put that on anybody else or make that a viewpoint. It's just what I see.
So then, okay, so let me ask you then, do you think that, from your perspective, do you think that Black men are trying to perpetuate white patriarchy?
I would honestly say a few of them, and I'm only gonna say some because here's what I mean when I say they're trying to uphold it. When you get a man who comes in saying that the woman needs to, should have her roles at home, or she should, be at home with the cooking and cleaning, and girl, you read too much, or she's too independent and too educated, and her standards and her expectations are too unrealistic as far as what a Black man should have. That coming from that, that whole thing.
So they're coming from a place of just wanting to control.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the men who that the problem is that
Mm-hmm.
I see too many of our men trying to hold on to that control aspect that was given to us, with capitalism and things like that. It's and I feel like what, it's a poison and a toxin to our relationships because you're not going to control us unless we want to be. We don't want to be controlled. Why is it that you think that mess works when you see that their own relationships aren't working? So why are you still trying to uphold what you see doesn't work for anybody else? And it's like, that's why I say it's like a desperate hold. Like, why? Stop it. Okay. Look, you ain't got to do that no more. Okay. You ain't got to put on this. I'm going to be the man. I'm going to be the head. I'm going to work myself to death because that's what a man does. Look, that may have worked for our great grandfathers because that's how they had to be. It's not how they wanted to be. There was nothing that was what anybody wanted. It was all about survival. And it's just like, baby, come on out of that survival mode. You ain't got to do that no more. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We can work together. We can do this. But it's just, like I said, it's just my opinion that I see. Just let it go. But like I said, it's not all men. It's some, but it's not enough of them letting go of that programming.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for a healthy relationship. It's for a codependent relationship. I mean, think about the woman is pretty much dependent on the man to bring in the money and take care of manly duties, but men get hurt. And it's always been my question is, okay, do you think a woman is a suitable partner if she can't hold down the house if something happens to you? Because one thing men forget y'all are invincible. Y'all are not invincible. You can get hurt badly and you need help. You can't just bounce back from a broken leg. It doesn't work that way. So if your woman is just solely dependent on you for finances and you're hurt and you can't work, what does she do? All that stress and everything else comes back on you. She has no life skills, no nothing. All she knows is what's there. That's a codependent relationship. It's not healthy. It's not balanced because if one partner falls, then the entire house is at risk because the other person can't sustain. You need two people who can join together and be like, you know what? I got you if you fall. If you need to fall, I got you. It it's a partnership.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant by a codependent relationship.
Hmm. Well, I see where you're coming from. I don't necessarily like disagree,
Hmm.
but I think that
Maybe I'm being too hard on them.
I think you just I it's not that you're being too hard on them. I think you're just extremely passionate because you want the best for them, you know?
Hmm.
And
Right.
I think that mm, I don't know how to say it without I don't know. I don't know how to say what I want to say. Okay. I don't think that you're being too hard on them. You're just passionate because you truly care about them. However, all the people the men who are like that, who are controlling and who have created these codependent relationships, um you just have to remember that the woman like was a part of that as well. She
Hmm.
agreed to having a codependent
Oh yeah,
relation.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So it can't just all be on him. um
Oh no, no, no. I didn't mean to put like men in a, like, oh, men are the only problem. Well, trust me, like me, I well acknowledge women have problems. We are crazy and nuts. It's just I think that we're leading the charge on this
you're not
evolution here.
supposed to tell them that we're crazy. You're not supposed to tell them that.
Girl, they know we're crazy, and that's why they play up on that emotion and then be like, "You crazy?" No, you just drive people to do crazy things. They know we're crazy.
Yeah. What were you saying?
It's just, I know, I was just saying, you already know I see it from both perspectives. That, of course, we, women, we definitely have a lot to take accountability for, especially when it comes to our families. Because unfortunately, when they fall, we got to step up, and a lot of us couldn't keep the balance, and we made a lot of bad decisions in a way of just trying to keep a man around or in the name of love, and we completely forgot ourselves. So absolutely, women definitely have their own role to play in this, and that's all a part of accountability. I just, I guess, well, part of me wishes to see more men. I mean, I see it enough, but I can't see it enough. I can't see
Mm-hmm.
more black men healing, like the frolicking and the flowers. Bring that back. Can y'all bring back frolicking, black men frolicking? Because I love that. Like it made me smile so much. Like frolic through the leaves. It's gonna be fall. Do that for me. Somebody do that, because we need to see that. It made me happy. And it's just like, you know what? I want to see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So, but that's it. Like I said, I don't place the blame on the black community on men. I don't place it on women. We both have our accountability to take.
Yeah,
From my
yeah.
perspective, I just wish I saw more men. I guess more black men.
You have to go to those spaces though.
Yeah,
Like
I
I'm sure
do.
that there, like Black Men Healing, hashtag Black Men Healing, hashtag Black Men, whatever. You know? I think it's
Yeah,
there. I
it's
think
always
that it's
there. Absolutely, it's
there.
there.
I think that it's there. I think you uh I don't know, are focused on it like a lot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I just think that okay, because I'm a conspiracy theorist.
yeah.
I'm into conspiracies. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, what if the whole thing about men, like this whole men versus women thing, black men versus black women, like, what if the whole thing is not that it's not real, but just more or less like it's
Separation campaign.
yeah, like it's like fake news. but not really fake news. Like, we know that within our community we have issues, but they're just blowing it up a whole lot more than what it is.
That's what
Like,
I was saying.
doing
Yeah,
it, they're
exactly. That's
doing
what I
it
was
on
saying from the
purpose to
very
keep,
beginning.
yeah, they're doing it on purpose to keep
Hmm.
Black men and Black women separated so that our population no longer grows. Right? Because if we're not dating each other and we're dating everybody else, then there's nobody else being Black.
And that's what it seems like,
Not
because it's
really.
just like now, it's like you have people doing their best to put Black couples together because now it's all interracial. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for that. That's all great and wonderful. But you remember, it used to be a thing where you couldn't find two dark skinned people on screen together. They always had to kind of switch it up. One had to be lighter than the other.
Yeah.
Now it's like you're starting to see more of that. And it's like, good, keep giving me that. It's just, the colorism within our community, the separation of class, people still trying to enforce capitalism and all this other stuff. It's just so many things to keep us separated. And that's why I said, I feel like, this is, it's like a campaign to get, people to go against Black men. Like, okay, we hate Black women. Yeah. But now we need to turn this on a Black men because look how they treating their women. And then it starts to get troubling when I'm seeing other races come on there and say, yeah, y'all need to treat Black women better. Like, sir.
It's just a campaign.
Yeah.
It's like I always say, like, it's tell lie vision. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. It's
It's
just
just telling lies to your vision to make you think that something else is happening or should be happening or
happening
whatever.
when it's not.
Yeah, like I mean, it's just a lot. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
too it's just too much. And I'm sure that there's different sections of all social media platforms where it's other races who are being pitted against the other gender. You know what I mean? So it just is like you just have to find a healthy balance between everything.
I miss
And
when
it
I
really
wasn't on
hasn't
social
helped.
media. I really
Yeah, and
do.
it really hasn't helped though that with COVID and people being separated and still people, I
Yep.
guess just traumatized. And now they're just used to being like on the screen and not really
Hmm.
in each other's presence. So knowing the truth will never be possible because the
Hmm.
world has changed. But I wanted to say that how you were saying how it's like all staged, but it's similar to how um I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but how like the CIA
Hmm.
will they'll have someone of that race infiltrate certain groups.
Oh,
Have
an
you ever heard
agent.
that?
Yeah, yeah, an
Yeah,
agent.
an
Hmm.
agent. And then that will be like the person who ends up like harming the group as a whole, because and they pay them to basically be the spy, whatever. And the person who's doing it has been so brainwashed into thinking that this group that they're infiltrating is really bad, so they just like go along with it. So you never
Hmm.
know. They could be paying all these people just to lie about what's going on. They
Yeah.
it's possible. I'm not saying that they are. I'm not saying that they aren't, they
Yeah.
are not. But it's possible. I At this point in the game, anything is possible. Like right now, like fucking anything is possible. The Queen of England could walk through my door and I would just be like, I knew you weren't dead yet,
Wizard.
you know?
Sorry.
But anything is possible. Anything can happen. Anything can be going on. Everybody wants money. People will do crazy stuff for a
Mm.
couple of coins. So anything is possible. I just try to be positive and just live my life because I can't be focused on all of this. I still have a heart where like, and we were talking earlier, like, yeah, like with a man, he'd have to be able to bring something really, really special to the table, or really be able to do something great. that I can't do for myself in order for him to come into my life, just because of my own personal experiences. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to be loved, like my heart
Yeah.
is still like wide open, like, please send me my husband, like, but at the same time, I'm not going to rush into anything because folks is crazy and I got 2 kids, So there's that. But yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be
it's
okay.
it's all about balance, and it's just like I feel like our biggest problem is outside influences. We need to honestly we gotta learn to start gatekeeping a little bit, just a little bit better.
I mean, and but yeah, we need
Just look,
we need a website that's password protected that
even the
gets
girl
changed.
they'll
That
you know
gets
they'll
changed.
what's the name of that girl? What's her name? They'll send what was that girl from Clueless? The girl from Clueless, what's her name?
Cher, Dawn,
The black girl that was on Clueless.
Stacey Dash.
Yeah, they'll send her ass in there and she'll get the password to him. You know she a double agent.
Did you see?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Did you, did you see that TikTok she did? And she was like crying, fake crying. She was auditioning for something, but she's like crying about how she just found out that DMX had died. And it was like she did this like maybe like what within the last 4 days. She had this
I
TikTok,
saw somebody make a joke about it. I didn't see the video itself.
and
I
she's
probably
like
blocked
crying.
her on TikTok.
She's like I had some. She's talking about how she's had been clean from cocaine or something, some type of drug, for like the past 10 years, and she had just found out that DMX had passed away, and something like it was. She was like really. She was like crying
Mm.
or whatever. Like right, it was really weird. But she probably is an agent. She probably is a I want to say she's a lizard, but she's not. She's not a lizard, I don't get that vibe from her. I get like she's one of like the little gray aliens or something. You know? Like
Stacia Dash, Dame Dash. What's the other Dash? Ain't they all related? They're all related or cousins or something.
something. I think Damon Dash and Stacy Dash are brother and sister. I don't know. I don't really know. But I
Let's leave it.
yeah, I just don't know. I don't think she,
Um,
I don't think she's a lizard though. I don't get that vibe from her. People that I get that vibe from is like Chris Brown. Uh, who else?
Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's an alien. I don't. He falling apart.
I don't think Lil Wayne is a lizard though.
No, I don't think he's a lizard. I think he's definitely an alien because he keeps calling himself a Martian and all kind of other aliens and stuff. I'm like,
He probably is a Martian.
are you really? So you do know Elon Musk, huh? And I'm sorry, the fact that Elon Musk keeps referring himself as a Martian and he says he's having all these kids because Mars needs inhabitants and stuff, and it's just like,
He probably is a Martian. They all are. They're
girl,
probably
you
all.
see, it was a photo that came out of him, on the beach, and his body was pale as heck. There was nothing that looked real about that picture. His body did not look right. It looked like somebody filled up the top of his body with air and deflated everything else.
Well, was it a real picture
It was a real
or
picture.
was it?
It was of him. He was in a bathing suit.
Yeah, but did they Photoshop it
I don't
to
think
make it
so.
look
It
like
was
that?
it was the same photo that they had on the shade room and everywhere else.
The Shade Room, their whole Their whole drama filled
Tr-
site.
Girl, trust you me. I don't review. I don't trust the Shade Room. I'm not even subscribed to them just because I don't trust them either. To me, they double play. They're playing both sides of the field too.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
what hit when it hit for me when what was that whole thing that came out about it? I don't know. It was something that came out about Prince, and it was just so embarrassing that they went that route they did. And everybody was like, "Why would you even do that? That is so disrespectful to Prince." And they're just like, "We're just here to report the news." So at first, it used to be you looking out for our people, but now you just here to report what you get reported on.
Because they
And
work
then
for
the whole
the CIA, they infiltrated the black community, and now
Mhm.
they came with positive intentions, and now they flipped the script, and now it's all about the baby and whoever else, and
like Vlad TV and stuff like that.
yeah,
I'm so sick of, I can't stand. Oh, I can't stand it. It's like it's been multiple people that have gone on that show and have called him out, for how he's taking advantage and how he's tried to include himself in our culture. But people still keep going on that show. It's like,
yeah. Why
why do
are
y'all
y'all
keep going
complaining
on there if you know
about
what
him?
he's doing?
Complain about the
But
people that still go on his show. Complain about that. He's just doing his job. If you don't want something to get the get popular, then don't watch it. Don't be a part of
don't
it.
give it attention. It's just like, come on. It's just so silly. And
It's
the last
corny.
straw, was the Doja Cat thing. I'm sorry, but you still listening to Doja Cat and you consider yourself a woman? Come on, that woman.
What
Like, I'm so sorry. You didn't see that?
what happened? I don't follow celebrities. Like I'm done.
No, I
So
don't
what
follow
happened
him
with
either.
her?
The only reason why I know about this is because it popped up on my Instagram feed, and it was of her in a chat room with a bunch of white men, and she was talking about how she don't f with her black side, and these men were just in there saying all kind of n-word this and n-word that and all this other stuff in front of her, and she was like, yeah, I don't care, I don't really f with black people anyway. And she tried to come out and say that it was doctored, it was this, and everybody's like, no, that it came out that was true. She was in some type of web room with a bunch of white guys as they pretty much just did that, and she went along with it. And then the excuse came out, oh, well, I never knew my dad's side of the family, so I always grew up with my mom because she's mixed. And I'm like, man, F all of that. You know exactly what it is. You're just here to take advantage. You're an agent. I'm sorry. That's why I was like, whatever Doja Cat sound they got going on, I will never play it. I don't even mention that girl's name. Like, I will never play her music or anything else. She is not for us. She is not for us. And anybody that's working with her knows that. She's not for us. She ain't rocking with us. She got raised on that side of the family, and that's where she want to be. She's just over here for the money.
Okay. I don't know about Doja Cat that much to speak on her.
Now, I'm
It
sorry, but ain't no way, ain't amount of money that you can pay me to be in a room with a bunch of white boys and say talk all kind of crap and say n-word this and n-word that and me be okay with it. There ain't a dollar amount. You have no integrity. None. And I'm sorry, but you got no integrity, you can't get no respect from me. You
okay.
got to have integrity. If you can't be an integrity and a stand-up person, that means you know what, you are slimy, and when it comes to
But
me, you definitely don't care.
but girl, okay. Okay. But everybody is not human. Like everybody is not like you. Everybody is not
Oh,
human.
I know.
Everybody is out here like to just do their thing and do what they want to do.
But
Make that
there's a
money.
thing called humanity that
But
everybody
he
comes
may
down here
not be.
with.
But what if they're not human?
I understand, but if you gonna come down here, you gonna dress the part, you gonna play the role.
That's
You don't
not
get to come
true.
down here. Yeah, it is for me. It is for me. You come down here,
You
you
just
dress up, you
busted.
play the part, you gonna play the role. You gonna express humanity, you're gonna have humanity. It's like every time there's always something tragic that happens and somebody does something evil, the first thing people yell out is, where's your humanity? Where's your basic respect for a human life? Where's your humanity? and you can't have that basic principle about yourself, then to me, you have no integrity. You can't show humanity, then I have no love for you. I can't give you, I'm not saying like I don't love you and I hope something bad happens to you. I can't sit here and say that, oh, I love you anyway and I express this. No. If you come down here and you willingly do wrong and like it is your choice, I can willingly say I don't F with you or your energy or anything about you because you have no integrity and you don't have the best interest for people.
Right.
And I can't F with you. And that's my decision. You got, if you ain't got no integrity about yourself, you definitely ain't gonna have no integrity about me. And I don't want you in my space.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Maybe I have too high of a standard of people, but we all have a responsibility to be at least a decent person. You can at least be decent. And that's why I was like, you know what? I don't put up with assholes. You having a bad day. Guess what? We all have bad days. That doesn't mean you get to take your anger out on other people.
Yeah.
Control,
I agree
everybody
with
wants to say I'm grown. Will be grown and adult immature.
Well, I agree with you. It's just that people's is people's. There's good people's and there's bad people's, right?
But we all have a freedom. My thing is we have a freedom to decide what we're going to do. Right from
and
wrong.
some people like to live in the light. Some people like to live in the dark. Some people like to live in a state of chaos or at least be the creators of chaos. Some folks are meant here to lie. Some folks are meant here to tell the truth. Like, people are just people. They're going to do what they want to do. You're not going to like everybody. They're not going to all like you. Like,
that's the thing. It's like, and that's why I said I don't expect anybody to amend to what I expect for everyone else. It's just like, you know what? I have the freedom and the right to express, what? I prefer to keep people in my space that act with a certain level of integrity about themselves. And if you just don't, I prefer never to have you around because to me, you can't be trusted. And if I can't trust you, I'm not going to keep you around me. And that's what's like, I didn't mean that in any kind of aggressive way. Like, I expect people to be this. But it's like, no, it's just like, you know what? You got the right and you got free will. I respect it. I want you to exercise it. Go do you. But you don't have the right to do harm to people. And I get we all come down here to have an experience, but do no harm is it's a universal law. Do no harm.
Yeah. But that's only if you're a part. Okay, but okay.
I know. Go ahead.
That's only if you're a part of the Federation, right? Like, if you are a part of the entities that are here, that are of the darkness and that are here to create chaos, then that doesn't apply to you, because you're not of that. You're, I don't know, girl.
No, but I know exactly what you're saying. Everybody doesn't live by the same creed.
They don't.
Everybody came here to experience it different. Everybody came here to do it different. No, I get you. And it's just like, I didn't want it to make it seem like this is what I expect of everybody, but.
Right. But at the same time, who you choose to have in your life is who you choose to have in your life. And it is your right to choose that. But it's like, don't worry about what other folks are doing.
Oh, I don't. I was just explaining to you. That's why I don't F with Doja Cat and I feel like she's a double agent along with Halle Berry. I'm just hating because I like Halle Berry and she's gorgeous and I'm just being a hater. So I can admit when I'm being a hater. I'm being a hater.
Girl. You're silly.
I am, but I'm
I'm stretching. It is 10:34. Let's call it.
Yeah. I thought it'd only been an hour. I didn't even.
Time went by fast.
It did. This was fun.